a.m.
You are absolutely correct, though. I frequently wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning. Okay, Mom, thanks.
Yeah, I hear this from many, many victims, and it is a satanic reversal time, a great strong witching hour for them. So I guess to wake up a Christian or rape a Christian or whatever else they've done to Christians at 3 a.m. in the morning, that's a powerful thing for them. However, I don't give in to that power. I'm not afraid. They can wake me up at 3 a.m. I will not relive my rape. I will not relive my experience. To me, it is just 3 a.m. I do not acknowledge the devil or anything else.
Yes.
So, but you're not the first victim. I've heard that from other victims. 3 a.m.
Oh,
so
yes. Interesting. Very interesting.
Very interesting.
Well, I hope that there will be some illumination on this, and I thank you for all your effort and hard work at bringing this to the public eye, because people refuse to believe this. They find it impossible to believe that this could be going on in our country. Well, I think, how could this be happening in America? And I am sometimes shocked by that.
Well, a lot of people believe our country is being sold out from underneath. By dark satanic forces that were brought here a long time ago. And I know there's still a lot of good people in this government of ours, and there are evil people who are probably, like I call them, dissenters, who are trying to undermine us, and they want to break down the working class, and they want to break down the structure of our country, and they want to see our Constitution be thrown to the wind, and they don't want freedom. They want indoctrination and mind control and just absolute power over everyone, and people who don't go along are getting harassed.
Yeah.
They're getting harassed, and the fact that you're a Christian, I think, does not help. Religious persecution is a big part of this.
Yeah.
So I thank you, too, for coming forward and having courage. I thank all the TIs for coming forward and having courage to tell your story, because it is difficult, but you're helping me, too, so thank you very much. It's nice to talk to other TIs, because I'm a TI, too.
Yes, it is. And I'm looking forward to meeting soon.
Oh, well, we will meet, but I'm not quite through with asking you some questions, so if I can ask you another question.
Sure, absolutely.
Have you had any illnesses from the pink stuff floating around your house, or have you had any burns on your body from the weapons?
Yes. No, I was getting very sick, and I went to several doctors, and they couldn't figure out what was going on. They did realize I wasn't breathing very well, but I did a chest x-ray. Everything was okay. And like I say, once it got to be spring, and I was able to open up the windows, and I started walking outside quite a bit, even that fatigue had passed. Well, however, the burns. I was in Florida. That's where I would wake up with burns on my ankles and on my knees. I've also had them on my breasts, and but the knees were the worst. There I would actually get bubbled up blisters on my knees and my ankles. It seems like even a small covering, even such as a sheet, can help prevent a really bad burn. But I have begun photographing the burns on my body, and they're not like the burns in Florida. The burns in Florida were from they were from the people upstairs, and they were at a much closer range, and they were very small. They look like cigarette burns.
I've had them.
Don't smoke, nor have I ever smoked, but they looked like cigarette burns. And the burns I'm now documenting are red places. They're like the diameter anywhere from a pencil or a cigarette burn up to a quarter. And the ones on my back and chest that I get are bigger. They almost look like a smear, if you will. They're much bigger.
Are they just red marks now, or are you actually missing skin? Because I've actually had little holes put in my body.
No, I do not have any holes. They've just been red marks. But again, I'm, being in Wisconsin, I'm always layered up with clothes and hot water bottles and things like that. So I'm probably difficult to get to skin, for them to get to my bare skin. But, yeah, so I have had some burns.
The pink stuff, do you think that maybe that was asbestos to make you sick? Because insulation, I remember there was a big deal about asbestos at one time that could make you very ill.
It could very well be. It could very well be. I'm not a big one for going to the doctor. I am looking for a doctor right now. I get bitter and resentful when they're completely ignorant about this topic and about what's happening. Even when I'm sitting there sane as can be, telling them what my experiences have been, and they sit and look at me like I'm crazy. So I have not been really a big one for going to the doctor.
I'm really lucky because my doctor is really coming around. And at first, he wasn't so sure, but he's like, Gina, are you okay? I'm like, just give me time. I'll explain it to you. And I did, and he's been very good now. Yeah. He's a very nice doctor. It just took them time. It is getting out there. I mean, we are gaining credibility. It's all over the Internet. So pretty soon everybody's going to know. I know my mouth is out there, and I'm not going to stop. And a lot of the TIs that I speak to are not going to stop either. Right. Tell me about the pennies, because I used to get up, or in the morning I'd get up, or I'd come home from work, and there would be quarters or nickels laying around.
Yeah, mine have always been pennies. One time I found one in the kitchen sink. I find them on the kitchen counter. I find them on the bathroom floor. I find them on the patio, on my balcony. Even in this house, I'd find them. They'd always put them somewhere where they knew it would be a very unusual, unlikely place for them to be, and that I would surely see them. So,
why do you think pennies? What do you think that's about?
I think it's a calling card. I just think it's a calling card. Just saying, hey, look, we were here.
And what are you going to do about it?
Yeah, what are you going to do about it? We were here, And I always think I'm small, I'm not very big, but I always think, I'd love to just catch one of them. Just let me catch one of them, Lord. Let me just have my way with one of them.
That's what I think, too.
Let me take my pound of flesh and all my rage and anger out on just one of them.
It's hard not to think that way because I've had my moments, but I've come to a more peaceful calm. And someone I was speaking to yesterday said that every time we feel anger, it feeds them because they're a dark force. And I hear them talk, are you angry? Do you hate us? Come on, there's hate in your heart. And I don't like to give in to that. So I try to turn away from that because it's almost like they want me to be mean, be jealous, be aggravated. They want frustration. They want darkness. And she said it's like feeding. They're like feeding off our souls when we do that. It's like energy to them or something. So I try not to be that way anymore. And the more I get the electronics and the electromagnetics out of my body, I realize that I have more control again. Those electromagnetic weaponry, harassment weapons, or whatever you want to call them, they can agitate you. They're getting parts in your brain that will cause agitation quicker. Yes. So you've got to get away from it. Sometimes that's why you're feeling anger. Because not only what they're doing to you, but the fact that they're throwing off your body chemistry with these weapons and radiation and anything else they're doing to you, your body can't cope so well.
Yes. Yes. Well, luckily I have to say, because I was in excellent health, I also believe having such really good habits throughout my life has helped me, because at those times when I was exhausted and confused and terrified of losing my job or my family, I really have to say my good habits have helped me. Getting up in the morning and exercising and walking my dog and just the basic things, eating meals, good nutritious foods, all those things have helped, I believe, hold me together. But, I have to say, once again, I have to give the credit to the Lord, because He's the one that stood by me through this whole thing. When no one believed me, everybody thought I was crazy. It wasn't until I started hooking up with other victims like yourself that I began to realize, Lisa, you're not the only one. This is not an unusual thing. Because people kept trying to convince me, oh, Lisa, you can't believe what's on the Internet. You can't believe what's on the Internet. And I said, well, why not? People believe other things on the Internet. People Google things all the time. Why is it when you Google something, it's accurate. When I Google it, you can't believe it? So